Hi students, welcome to our channel Physics Concepts by Icse. How are you all of you? I hope everybody is fine. In the today's session, we are going to discuss one of the topic of the 10th standard, that is refraction through curved surface. Now let us see, let's start one activity, and for this one first of all take any one cardboard and on this cardboard draw a arrow mark, and so the arrow mark I have drawn, and afterwards take one glass, transparent glass, and so you can see the from this side you see the arrow mark. How the arrow mark appears? The arrow mark appears as a smaller image. Smaller means also we can say a diminished. We can notice that a diminished image appears to our eyes. What is the reason? The simple reason is, so how can we see this object is the image, how can we see this arrow mark? The light rays used to fall on this arrow mark, and from there the light rays travels through air, because air is the medium here, and through the air and they reaches to the glass. This glass is the medium. Ultimately then it passes through second side of the glass, reaches to our eyes. So before reaching our eye, the light used to pass through different mediums, right? One is air is the medium, the second is glass is the medium. Because of these two different mediums, the speed of light also will be changes. Because of that change in the speed of light, that object appears as a change in its size and shape. That is we are calling as a refraction. Did you get it? Why the arrow mark appears as a smaller? Very simple reason, due to the refraction. Refraction in sense, once light ray passes through one medium into another medium, the light ray's speed is changing. Because of that, the object appears changes in its size. That is we are calling as a refraction. Now let us do one more activity. Now let us fill this empty glass with water. Then this time how can you notice this arrow mark? Then this arrow mark appears as inverted. Inverted in sense, then we can see the image is like this, it will be appears. What is the reason here is, then before reaching to our eye, these light rays which are falling on this arrow mark, traveling through one more medium. What is that? Air is the medium, glass is the medium, and even water also, the another medium is added. Because of these three mediums, the light travels. There is a continuous change in the speed of the light. Because of that change in the speed of the light, the object appears as inverted. This also we can call it as a refraction. Why it is happening like this and how it is happening, those all things we will discuss right now. Okay. And for this one, first of all, now let us take. Imagine one hollow sphere. Imagine one hollow sphere. Now let us take this is one hollow sphere made of glass. This is a hollow sphere made of glass. This is completely made of glass. Now let us make into two, and this is make into bisect. Means now let us make into half of the part. Let us make it. This part now let us take. This part we will take, and this part is now how the refraction takes place, and these all things we will see. And this is a single curved surface. This is a single curved surface. Refraction. Now we are going to discuss about refraction through single curved surface. How it will be, now let us see. And some important basics of this topic now let us see. And as it is made of the sphere, isn't it? This is part of the sphere only, no? And so it will have a center, no? Every sphere, every circle is having a center. Generally we suppose represents with the letter of C. Okay, this is the center of a hollow sphere. Okay, right. And this curved surface is there, right? This curved surface also have a midpoint. That midpoint, now let's call it as a P. What do we call that midpoint? Is a pole. What do we call that? Pole. And now let's draw an imaginary line passing through pole and center of curvature. Now let's call it as a principal axis. What do we call that? Is a principal axis. Up to this part, okay, right. Now here, now let us see how the light is undergoing into the refraction through this single curved surface. Single curved surface. And here now let us take the light ray outside of this sphere, means that incidenting ray is takes place outside of the curved surface. So this is we are calling as a convex mirror, convex surface, not mirror, convex convex surface. Now let us take it as convex surface, or also called as a convex transparent surface. Okay, that's more relevant. Convex transparent surface. Now let us take. And here different cases. Now let us take. Why it is called as convex? Objects can be taken into the two surfaces, and here is one surface, and even let's take this two also another surface. And if reflection surface or incidenting take depending upon the incidenting surfaces, it will be classified into convex and concave. If incidenting takes place outside, then that is called as a convex. If incidenting is taking place inside, that is we are calling as a concave. Got it? What is meant by convex? What is meant by concave? So this is a convex surface, because now let us take the reflecting, the incidenting outside. Now different cases now let us take, and first case one is. So in the case one, what we will discuss is different cases we will discuss, and the first case is now here is how the refraction takes place through single curved surface we are discussing. And first one is, if the ray is passing through the principal axis, the incidenting ray. If the ray is what is that situation? Ray passing. Where it is passing? Passing through principal axis. Principal axis, what did you notice? Did you notice any deviation? No deviation. So no deviation we can notice, isn't it? As ray is passing through the principal axis, there is no deviation. That's one case, first case. And if the second case, if the ray passing through C, center of curvature, ray passing through C, center of curvature, then what will happen? Now let us see. If the ray is passing towards like this, what did you notice? You can notice that there is no change in the ray, incidenting ray. Ray is not going into any deviation. So the same answer we can take, that is ray is not, the refracted ray is not deviating. The ray, if it is passing through C, there is no deviation. So now the third case. This is the one of the very important case, that is. And what is the third case? Now let us draw third case here, so you will not get any confusion. Now let us take a curved surface, single curved surface we will take, and afterwards we will take a C. We will take a C, and afterwards then we will take a even P, and we will draw a principal axis. This is the principal axis. If the ray is, the third situation is ray passing parallel to principal axis, passing parallel to principal axis. Parallel to principal axis in sense, the ray parallel. This is the principal axis parallel. And how it will be? That undergoes into the refraction, and it starts bisecting the principal axis. That intersects the principal axis, bisecting between P and C, intersecting at principal axis at one point, intersecting the principal axis at one point. That point we used to call it as a focus. What do we call that? Is a focus. Generally we represents with the letter of capital F. Again we will explain, you see. Now we have taken one curved surface. In this curved surface, principal axis we have taken, and center of curvature is there, pole is there, and we have taken one ray parallel to principal axis, and this ray passes through single curved surface, and it undergoes into the refraction, and that intersects the principal axis at one point, where the refracted ray intersecting the principal axis, that point is called it as a focus. Okay, now what do we call this? We are calling as a focus. Got it? how it is happening about this one. And so again one more also we can consider. The distance between these P and F is called as focal length. What do we call that? Focal length. This F is called as focus. F is called focus and small f is called as focal length. Focal length. We will discuss more detail the upcoming sessions, but have an idea the basics. Okay, this is about the focal, focus and these all things. Is it? Did you understand that? And so what we can write, if the ray is passing parallel to principal axis, it intersects the principal axis, and forms focus. So here is the ray. What the ray is doing, how the refraction is taking place, the ray is undergoing into the converging. What is meant by converging? And so if the ray, this is a concave mirror, so concave surface, and if the ray is traveling towards the principal axis, that is we are calling as a converging. What do we call that? Converging. Okay. So this is more detail we will discuss in upcoming session. We have an idea about these all. So this is we are calling as converging. Is it clear? This is about if the ray is passing through single curved convex surface. Isn't it? This is a convex surface because the instanting surface is outwards. So this is we are calling as a single curved convex surface. Now let's go the next one. Okay, understood this one. Now let's go. Anybody can say what is that? What are you thinking that what may be the next situation? The next situation is refraction through single concave surface. How it is? Now let us see. The same, let us take again, and one hollow sphere. Now let us take this time again. Let us take this is a hollow sphere, and in this hollow sphere, now again let us make into the two parts, and this part only we will take, and this time what will happen now? The reflecting instanting surface should be inside. Okay, no? Reflecting surface should be inside, and so what we have to do? And here this time we will take this is the center, and anyhow this is what we are calling as P pole. We used to call it as. Okay, and again these two are connecting by means of an imaginary line which we are calling as the principal axis. Is it okay? This is what do we call this one? This is we are calling as a concave surface. Single curved concave surface. I will write this one. Single curved concave surface. What is the single curved concave surface? Now let us see the different cases about this. What the case before we did the first case 1. What is the case 1? It tells you about ray is passing through principal axis. Ray passing through principal axis. How it will be if ray is passing? For example, one ray is passing towards this side. Then how it will be? What will happen? There is no deviation. Did you notice any deviation? Is it deviating from its original path? No deviation. Once when if ray is passing through principal axis. And now let us take a second case. What is the second case? The ray is passing through the center, and this is the center. If the ray, for example, the ray is passing through the center. So then what happened? Is it going any deviation? Did you notice? Ray passing. If the ray is passing through C, center of curvature, what is happened? There is no deviation, isn't it? Because the deviation in sense it has to deviate from its path. If it is traveling, it has to move either this side or this side. A slight deviation moving from its original path. It is not happening. So once if the ray is passing through C, there is no deviation. And the third case, now let us see this one. And so what is the case 3? This is the most important case. This is if the ray passing parallel to principal axis. How it is? Now let us see. And this is a single curved concave surface. So the ray, this side is a principal axis, and this is a C, and this is a okay, right, and we'll come to know what is that one. And this is a pole, and here is the incidenting surface should be inside. So then what will happen? The ray will passes towards this side. Once in the concave surface, the ray is incidenting, that undergoes into the ray will goes towards this side. What do we call this one? This is we are calling as diverging. Diverging. Converging in sense coming close to the principal axis. Moving away from the principal axis, that call it as a diverging. Then we will draw one imaginary line to the principal axis. Imaginary line we used to draw. This imaginary line we used to call it as a focus. What do we call that? Is a focus. Did you notice that? And so once it is parallel to principal axis, that is diverging. From the point of diverging, we will draw one. We will extend one ray to the principal axis, and so it forms at a focus. Okay, no? That is we are calling as how it is forming as a focus. And so then what we can write? The ray is passing parallel to principal axis. What will happen? It forms a focus. It forms a focus. What we can call it as? Okay, no? And again the same we can take this P and distance between these two is called as a focal length. Those are things. Okay, no? Did you understand that? Even if the ray is passing through single curved concave surface also, the same properties, there is no change once when it is traveling parallel to, once it is traveling through principal axis, once it is traveling through center of curvature, there is no deviation. But once it is a parallel to principal axis and it passes through the focus, it is forming a focus. Okay, no? Right. So the next concept, now I hope that this understood that. Now we are going to discuss one of the very important expression, that is refraction through single curved surface. Expression for refraction through single curved surface. Refraction through single curved surface, and many times this is asked, single curved surface. Refraction through single curved surface, how can it be? Now let us see that. And here is now imagine that this is any one single curved surface is there. This is one single transparent surface. Now let's call it as transparent curved surface, which separates two mediums. This is one medium, and now let us take this is a medium whose refractive index is n1. Okay, this is another medium whose refractive index is n2. And so then what we will take? And we will take this is a C, and this is a pole. Generally the distance between a pole and center, what do we call that? That is a radius. Now let us take any one object. That object now let us take as a point object. Point objects. Objects are of two types: point object and extended object. Point object is an imaginary. For our experimental purpose we used to take, and this is we are calling as extended object, which is a combination of many points. From those points, one point we will imagine. So that point object is called as a point object. Point object in the first letter O. So the one ray is passing right from here, and it just reaches the surface. So once it is incidenting the surface, it undergoes into the refraction, and so it forms an image. Image first letter is I, and so that we can take it as I. Okay, this is the illustration what it will happens if a point object is passing through single curved surface. Okay, and here now let us take the distance between all the time object and pole is called it as object distance. What do we call this? Is a object distance, represents with the letter of U, and here is the distance between pole and image is called it as image distance. Image distance, which we are calling as V. Then what is the relation between these two? The relation is, this is an expression for refraction through single curved surface is N2 by V minus n1 by u is equal to n2 minus n1 by r. This is an expression for refraction through single curved surface. So many times in the board exam it was asked. Here the terms also you should explain. N2 is refractive index of the second medium, and V is image distance, and N1 is refractive index of the first medium, and U is object distance, and R is radius of curvature of this curved surface. Got it? This is one of the very important expression. Okay, up to this part then okay, and the next session we will derive this expression, and go on watching our channel Nana and support me. Wish you all the best.